Hi there. Today I'm going to be reading some r/MaliciousCompliance, read by me, Red. Hope you enjoy. Okay, let's get started. You want me to pour cold water to melt the ice. Background. When I was 16 working as a bagger in a grocery store, we got a new manager. We will call her Elsa. Elsa had a very I'm right, you're wrong attitude. She didn't care if she was in the wrong, but you'd better do what she told you until she changed her mind. If you spoke out against her, you would end up on her crap list, and she would do her best to get you fired. Generally, the bagger is the lowest position in any store. We collect cards from the lot, put away items, stock, clean, bag, and somehow we are always at fault. Cue Elsa. I had an early shift, clocked in, started morning duties, and I heard on the loudspeaker, "OP, please come up to aisle 6. Frozen aisle, seafood. There is an oval-shaped, open-air freezer at the end of the aisle. 6 compartments, about 20 feet long, 1 compartment on each end, 2 in between it on each side, about 2 feet deep under the aluminium panels, with fans facing out from the center. Drainage on the bottom. Freezing air blows out vents into the merchandise above. Drainage compartments eventually clog with ice." I came in and Elsa gives me a smile and asks me to grab a bucket and scrub brush. I was going to pull up the bottom aluminium floor panels of the freezer and melt the ice that accumulates around the fans. "It should take no longer than 30 minutes, she said. "Make sure you use cold water since we don't want the temperature sensors to go off. Anything over 42 Fahrenheit will set them off and corporate would call." I say, "Let me make sure I have this right. You would like me to fill a bucket with cold water and pour it on the ice in the freezer while the freezer is at 19 degrees Fahrenheit? Stares at me like I'm stupid. I inform her this isn't going to work. The water will freeze and just create a mound of ice. I suggest using hot or practically boiling water while watching the temperature. Elsa gives me a firm no and the threat of writing me up if I disobey. So the start of the malicious compliance begins. I've already figured that no matter what I do, I'm likely to be in trouble. To get the water, I had to fill it in the meat department sink. The meat manager asked what I was up to, and I told the story with all the details. Meat manager is scratching his head and heads over to call Elsa. She confirms and I hear a bit of arguing. Meat manager comes back, gives me a smile and says, "Do as I was told." He'd back me up. So, for the next hour, I must have poured about 200 gallons of cold water onto the freezer fan. I switched from a 2-gallon bucket to a 5-gallon. I stopped and moved to the next fan each time. The compartment was to the brim with ice. I got 4 compartments done before she came back to check on me. Instant rage. Elsa went from white to red real quick. It was also the first time I've heard a manager cuss. "What the duck is this? How the duck could you screw up something so simple?" said Elsa. I said, "I did exactly what you told me to. I took buckets of cold water and poured them on the ice around the fans." Right as she said she was going to write me up, the meat manager came over after hearing her cussing. The meat manager saw the ice-filled compartments and mentioned that I should have used hot water. This sent Elsa over the edge. "Up to my office now! You're being written up!" The meat manager did what he said he'd do. He stuck up for me. Meat manager mentioned that he had double-checked with her what she wanted me to do, and I was complying with her instructions. She went silent for a moment, and it was like her head was going to pop off. She just took a deep breath and muttered out, "Fix it," and walked away. The meat manager gave me an extended industrial hose hooked up to the hot water. The water in the meat department can get up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit to kill bacteria. The ice was gone in 15 minutes, and apparently the freezer temperature never went above 34 degrees Fahrenheit. Elsa avoided me for over a week afterward. I knew I was on her crap list, and for the next 8 months she tried to write me up for the most pitiful reasons. I eventually was given a written warning for leaving 9 minutes early with approval from the front-end manager that was friends with Elsa. At that point, I knew I would get filed for crap eventually, and I quit without my 2 weeks notice. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a fun person to work for. I would quit too. I can't believe you stuck it out for 8 months though. That is pretty impressive, and that shows what a good work ethic you have. Okay, here's our next story. Oh, you want a man? Okay. I work in a field that is dominated by men. In fact, in my office of 30-ish people, only 3 of us are female. My direct boss, one of our QA reps, and myself. My job is a mix of technical support and customer service in a niche industry, and I have worked at my company for nearly 15 years doing the same job. Small company and not a lot of room to move, as we tend to stick around. We deal with clients worldwide, and my department consists of 6 people. Generally, we have 2 to 3 on the phones at any given time. 1 on chat and the other 2 working on different queues. At least 2 to 3 times a week, I'm mistaken by clients as the secretary and asked to be transferred to tech support. My standard response is, I'm part of tech support, what can I help you with today? And they're happy to work with me. Occasionally, maybe once every couple of years, someone will tell me they want to talk to a male or more senior rep. My boss is fine with me accommodating those requests as long as we don't have a queue. On this particular day, we had me and our newest team member who'd been with the company maybe a year at this point. He's now been with the company over 5 years. 2 of our team members had the day off, and it was later in the day, so the 3rd phone person had finished their shift and gone home. It was busy and we had a bit of a queue, and the new guy had a pretty difficult issue that he had been on the call for about 30 minutes. It was also when our management had their off-site, so we literally had no management in the office. I answer a call. Thank you for calling company support. This is OP. Can I get your name or account number? Can you transfer me to support? I'm in support. How can I help you today? Transfer me to a man. Women don't work in support. I'm sorry, sir. All our other representatives are on calls right now. How can I assist you today? Client hangs up. I take the next 2 calls, no issue. 3rd call is the same caller. Thank you for calling company support. This is OP. Can I get your name or account number? Can you transfer me to support? I'm in support. Client hangs up before I can offer to assist him again. I take another 2 calls. All the meanwhile helping the new guy where I can, as he's now about an hour on his call. Next call, yep, the same guy. Thank you for calling company support. This is OP. Can I get your name or account number? Can you transfer me to support? I'm in support. How can I help you today? Transfer me to a man. Women don't work in support. I'm sorry, sir. All our other representatives are on calls right now. I'm not working with a woman. I want your manager. I'm sorry, the manager is not in her office at this time. No, I want a male manager. I'm sorry, all the managers are away from their desks in a meeting at this time. I can request that one call you back when they're available. The client hangs up. At this point, the queue is clear, so I continue to help the new guy with his issue. 5 minutes later, I get a call. It's the same guy. Thank you for calling company support. This is OP. Can I get your name or account number? Can you transfer me to support? I'm in support. How can I help you today? Client hangs up. Immediately he calls back and I answer again. We have caller ID so I can see it's the same guy. Thank you for calling company support. This is OP. Can I get your name or account number? He hangs up. This repeats about 6 times before I think he finally gave up. The new guy and I are close to fixing his client's issue when the guy calls back. Thank you for calling company support. This is OP. Can I get your name or account number? Is there a male available yet? The new guy fixes the issue and hangs up, offers to take the call. Yes, one moment while I transfer you to another rep. Finally! I transfer the call and the new guy answers. The client's issue is rather difficult, and after 5 minutes, he asks for a more senior rep as the new guy doesn't know what he's doing. The new guy looks at me and mouths, he wants a senior rep. To which I nod and he transfers the call back to me. Thank you for calling company support. This is OP. Can I get your name or account number? I asked for a senior rep, not a female. Sir, I'm the senior rep available right now. I've been with the company for over 10 years. Obviously I know what I'm doing or I wouldn't still work here. The client reluctantly allows me to assist him, and it took me less than 15 minutes to get him going again, as it was an issue we knew about in the version released when I started, and as the new guy had never dealt with the older versions, he was still learning legacy protocols. To the client's credit, they have never asked me to talk to a male again, and more often than not asked to talk to the female in support when they call. I mean, that's kind of a happy ending, at least. I hope you enjoyed that r/MaliciousCompliance, read by Red. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you could like this video and subscribe to my channel because I have a lot of other videos which are pretty cool too. Thanks so much, have a great day.